Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. So today we are going to take the TTS for an MOT. We're still waiting for some stuff to arrive for the Tesla front bumper. So I've got the bumper, I've got the crash bar, I'm waiting for the paint, which hopefully should arrive today, and if it does then we'll continue. But the one part that I know is not going to arrive today, even though it says that it will, is the front louvre that I had to order from the US because my original purchase was, I got let down. They couldn't find the part, so I had to order from the US, and from the US it takes a while. So let's see how we can get on. But before we take the TTS to the MOT, there's a couple of things that we need to do. We just need to give it a general check over. I've checked the lights, etc. Everything is good from that point of view, but we do need to put some water for the wipers. And I've got to replace one of the brake lights because it came up with a fault. So let's go and do that. Let's take the TTS and then we'll just see how this episode transpires, because I really don't know what's going to happen today, but let's see how we go. Right, so here we go. Now changing the lights on the TTS is quite simple actually, and Audi do help you. They give you this really good toolkit, and in here hopefully we should be able to just take the bolt off the middle of that, and then hopefully that should just fit in there and spin around. And I bet it doesn't. Nope, it does not. Can we do it by hand? Nope, can't do it by hand either. Right, I think we can though do it using a screwdriver in that I've just discarded. Let's put that in. Stick that in the end there, and hopefully that should work. He says, yep, there we go. So basically it's just one bolt that holds the whole thing in, and then once she comes out, then the light should come away as well. Here we go. That's coming out quite freely. You can see the whole light moving as well. Right, let me take that screw out because it's longer than I thought, and I'll show you the light after. So there's our bulb set. You basically remove this. Now in this instance I would show you, only it would help if I took out the right side, took the wrong side out. So let me put that back in and we'll get the right side out. Right, this is the right side, and I'm guessing by the fact that this one here is all cloudy, that is our suspect bulb for sure. So we do have a spare. Got one of these Halford spare kits. It's cheaper to buy this than to buy two bulbs, so we'll use the bulb in here, and then we'll put that in and then put that back in, and then we should be all good. Right, bulbs are back in. We can give them a quick test by pressing the brake, because the brake light that was complaining, and yep, brake lights are working. Let's just test the indicator while we're here. Yep, two bulbs. That third one's for the reversing light, so we don't have to worry about that. Right, let's put them back together. Now, a little tip on putting these lights in. You think it's pretty straightforward, and it is, but you just got to get the sequence right. So you have a little ball here, and then in here there's a little socket. Now you'll be tempted to squeeze it in. That's not the way it goes in. If you try and do that, it won't sit right. What you have to do is bring the ball out here and slide it in this way. So you kind of go round and then in. That's the way you do these. Let me see if I can demonstrate. So the light comes down. You make sure that that sleeve fits like that. And you literally bring the whole thing around. Make sure, I don't know if you can see it, that we're just at the end there. I think I'd have to do this with two hands, but it then goes in that way, and then you should be in. So it's basically, it's sitting in a socket. You just literally push it in that way, okay? And once it's in, it won't slide out. That's how you know you've got it right. If it comes out when you push it in, then you know you've done it wrong. And then you just simply put the other bolt that we've taken out back in, and then you're done. Right, so the car is having the MOT done. Let's take a look at some of the parts that we've got here. So that's the new crash bar. This is the bumper. Let me get my tables and we'll take this apart and see how they look.
1 hour later.
Well, the TT is back from the MOT, but they weren't able to do the MOT because they couldn't get the bonnet open. It would seem that the lock has gone. So I'm gonna have to see if we can get that fixed. And while they were trying to get it open, fair play to them, because I know I've done it, the thing is broken off. I don't blame them at all, because I've done this already today. These handles are so flimsy, they just break. You literally have to have a stock of them. So let's see what's going on with this cable, and let's see if we can get this off.
1 hour later.
Right, whew, it's all drama. Managed to get the bonnet opener. I managed to basically squeeze the grill open, and then we're able to get it open. What's happened is the cable's come off. That's what's happened. There was going to be no way that we were going to get to this. I'm amazed that I actually managed to get it open through that, but I just saw the eye and we managed to get it open. So I'm going to call up the MOT here, see if we can get it. What we can't do is shut the bonnet, because I need to get that replaced. Not the bonnet, the cable. We need to sort that cable out. That means taking the front grille off, but you know what, I'd much rather take off the bumper and all of that again just to get this repaired than to have to replace all this front, because these 500 quid for a new grille. 500 pound. It's a lot of money. Alright, let's see if I can get this MOT then. Hopefully I'll be happy to keep it on a jar like that. Let's see. Right, just ran the MOT up, and it's not going to happen today because we need to repair the bonnet. The bonnet has to be able to shut in order for it to pass the MOT. So we could just get the cable sorted, but I'd rather take this apart and take a look at it properly. So we're leaving that today, and we're going to go and have a look at this. So in here we have the bumper. I want to inspect the bumper. This is the bumper for the Tesla, and just want to make sure that it is what it's supposed to be. So let me unwrap it and then we'll take a look at it. Over there, that's the crash bar that we're going to replace as well. So at least that's two of the parts. Let me just take a look and see how this is looking. Let's come back to you in a sec.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
And if by magic all the wrapping is undone. So here's the bumper that I ordered, 60 quid off eBay. It's not the best bumper, but it's already there to do a good job. It's got a few dings on it, one here. I'm in two minds whether to do it or just to leave it to make a point, but I will paint it the right colour, because I don't want to drive around with a white bumper because that would look too obvious. But here's a bumper, and of course on the floor here, all the original trim pieces that I kept from my car. I was going to dispose of them, then I thought, nah, I'm going to keep those. I'm so glad that I did, because all of these bits are quite expensive to buy separate, so it's great to have it. And we bought a new crash bar, because the one that I had in the car I had to cut to get it to fit the new bumper. In the end I didn't have to cut it to fit the new bumper, but when I went to Tesla they picked it up in the report, and so it's going to be on a record, and they'll be checking that as well, because I don't want to give them any excuse not to pass this car. So we've bought a replacement one. What I'll do is I'll just clean it up. These are the original battery probes that are on there to hot wire the car, not hot wire, but to give it some power if you ever lose a battery. That front grille on the old one comes off, and then that exposes these, and then that allows you to connect up. So you will give this a little bit of a paint job to make it look decent. We'll clean this up here because this is slightly rusty again. Don't want to give them any excuses, but so now we've got a new bar. We're all good to go. So we're just waiting for the Louvre, and I ordered that from America. It said it was going to be here today, but at the moment when I last checked it was stuck in Illinois in the US, which is Central America. So I don't think there's any chance of that coming today, being Friday. unless by some miracle they're sending it over on a plane and it's going to be delivered by UPS this afternoon. It's 4 o'clock, not a fat chance of that. Right, so we need to prepare this for paint. My paint is due today. I'm hoping it will still arrive. In the meantime though, we will primer this up and get it ready. Yeah, let's see how this looks from a home job rather than me sending it away. Right, so I've just done a little bit of shaving using my plastic welding gun. So we basically just shaved off that bulge that was there to make it nice and straight. So if you look down this side, you can probably just see. So what we'll do now, we'll just sand that down with a sander, and then that'll make it look half decent. Like I said, not looking for perfection, not even looking for close, just looking for the same color really. And I've also given it a sand with some 1000 grit paper. It's a little bulge there, but I'm not bothered about that. I'm not even going to attempt to fix that. So it's looking at least a little bit rougher. We'll give it another sand, and then that should give it enough key for the primer which comes next. But we'll sand that down first, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's sanded down. Right, so we've just sanded that down. That looks alright. Like I said, this is not for perfection, gents. This is, and ladies, this is literally just to get it through the check. So this will not look pretty, it will look okay, and that's the whole object of this. Right, let's give it a prime, give it a first coat and see how she looks. Okay, so we've given the body, the bumper, a couple of coats of primer. Just wanted to get some primer from Halfords. That bit's come out okay, looks good, isn't it? Like I said, we're not really bothered. Got a couple of cans from Halfords, and I just met a subscriber, so sorry if I appeared shell-shocked. Always is when I meet people, but a real nice guy. But I didn't get your name, so sorry about that. But it was nice to meet you in Halfords. Right, so let's get the top coat sorted now. We'll do a couple of coats, maybe 3, maybe even 4. But I'll show you what the first coat looks like, and then I'll show you the finished result before we go and put the lacquer on. Right, it's done, it's painted, lacquered. It's not the best job. I don't really want it to be really. This is just a temporary job to get us through the tests. So it looks rough, it's got lots of bits in it, but I don't care. It's literally just to get it through the test. So we'll let it go off overnight, and then we'll dress it up, put some of the bits and pieces in. I'm still waiting for the louve that goes into this side. That's going to come in from the US. It was supposed to be here Friday, but it's not. It's now saying it won't be here till the 22nd of May, which is a couple of weeks away, which is not good. I'm hoping it will be here quicker, but we'll see. So that's it for what was a bit of a disastrous day, but we've got somewhere, and at least the TTS, which is the main thing, we don't have to break the front bumper. Cool. So frustrating day because we didn't get the TTS MOT, but could have been worse. We could have now been ordering a new grill, and it turns out that the cable that I thought was damaged is actually okay. It just wasn't put on right, so we need to get that right, make sure that doesn't happen again, because that was very close. So we kind of, for want of a better expression, dodged a bullet there in terms of not having to destroy the front grille to get the bonnet open. So we're in a good place. And of course, like I said, the paintwork on the for the Tesla, I'm not really particularly proud of it, but then that's what the results you're going to get with a rattle can. But I don't really care, because it is literally just to get it through that test. So join me next week when we will hopefully get the louve. It might come early, who knows, it might just come. It's coming by DHL now, because when I looked online I could see that UPS said they delivered it, but what they mean by they delivering it is that they delivered it to a DHL depot to now go and cross the anyway, hopefully it'll be here next week. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe if you are a casual viewer, because there's plenty of you who are casual viewers. So subscribe if you can, really would appreciate the support there, and also click on the bell notification so that you know when we release a new video. I got a few review videos coming up shortly. One of them is from Alltel, who sent me this, which is been a lifesaver because it's sorted out a problem on the Tesla. But you'll see that coming up very soon. You know. So we'll see you on the next one, and hopefully we'll have some results with the TTS. So have a good week. We'll see you next week.